My name is Mr. Steve.
Welcome Storytime.
I'm a storyteller.
It's a trap!
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Hello, everybody! It's me, Mr. Steven. It's time for another story time! And it's almost Christmas. Are you excited? I'm excited. Usually, this channel, which has been around since 2018, doesn't go all out for Christmas. But last year we did. We did a bunch of Christmas videos because it was 2020 and we all went through the blender on 2020. So this year we're still going through the blender, and I thought, hey, let's read some Christmas books. This week and next week we're going pretty all out for Christmas. And my children have this great book, the Disney Christmas Storybook Collection. I thought I'd read a book from this collection. There's a bunch of Christmas stories featuring your favorite Disney characters. There's a Bambi story, a Cars story, Monsters Inc., Robin Hood, love that. Lady and the Tramp, The Princess and the Frog, but we're going to be reading this one right here. Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck the Halls. How do you celebrate Christmas in a video game? We are about to find out. Are you ready? Let's do this. Vanellope von Schweetz, president of Sugar Rush, lay down in a drift of powdered sugar. Ralph! That was actually a fairly good Vanellope von Schweetz, but I'm not going to be doing the voice. Ralph, watch this, she called to her friend. Ralph was visiting from his own video game, Fix-It Felix. Vanellope moved her arms and legs quickly through the fluffy powder, then she sprang to her feet. Ta-da! A sugar angel, she exclaimed proudly. Ralph smiled weakly. Oh yeah, he said. Nice one. Vanellope could tell something was bothering Ralph. Hey, shouldn't you be Mr. Holly Jolly? It's only a few days until Christmas. Your first real Christmas. Christmas time was usually pretty lonely for video game bad guys like Ralph. But ever since Ralph had saved his game from being unplugged, the Nicelanders had realized what a good guy their bad guy was. This year, for the first time ever, they had even invited Ralph to their holiday party. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you are a bad guy.
Right.
My wife! Anyway, it was great to go to the Nicelanders' party, Ralph told Vanellope, but you know what? The whole time I was there, I couldn't stop thinking about the bad guys and all the other games. Their Christmases will be just as lonely as ever. Ralph remembered past Christmases spent alone on his brick pile at the dump. Bad guys deserve a real Christmas too, Ralph added. Yeah, let's invite all the bad guys. Have a bad guy Christmas party. Dr. Doom, Thanos, the ghosts from Pac-Man. Vanellope tilted her head to one side, then nodded. You're right, she said, and we can give it to them. She remembered how it had felt to be left out by the other racers in her own game. Let's throw the bad guys a Christmas party with presents and a tree, the whole 9 yards. Ralph's face lit up. That's a perfect idea, he cried. He hopped up in excitement, then landed with a boom! The ground shook and a towering sugar drift toppled over, burying Vanellope. There were no survivors. Just kidding. Oops, sorry, said Ralph, digging her out. I like just sprinkling stories with, there were no survivors. Just keeps you on your toes, you know? Your toes, not your toast. Don't get on your toast, okay? Just don't. A public service announcement for Mr. Steve. The more you know. Ralph called a special meeting of the Bad Anon support group. Every year, we bad guys get stuck on the outside of Christmas looking in. Well, this year, everything is going to be different. Are you with me? Generic video game characters that don't have specific video games because we couldn't license them for this book? Oh, look at that. Zangief has suddenly disappeared. The ghost from Pac-Man is no longer there. Well, this year, everything is going to be different. Ralph told them all about how wonderful Christmas could be with decorations, presents, songs, and parties. Everyone got really excited. Ralph's Christmas sounded like so much fun. What's your favorite Christmas song? I always liked Feliz Navidad, do 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 do, Feliz Navidad. Paul McCartney has this song, Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, and I like the chorus because it's happy and upbeat, but also it could sound like Paul McCartney's had enough of Christmas. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time, he says. The moon is up, the moon is out, the spirit's up. We're here tonight, and that's enough. And I like that in a Christmas song. We're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having wonderful Christmas time. I like that, you know? Ralph's Christmas sounded like so much fun. That was a good aside. I want everyone to meet here in the support group room on Christmas Eve, Ralph said, and get ready for the merriest Christmas ever. Then Ralph and Vanellope got busy making a special gift for each bad guy. They planned something for everyone, including a nice fireproof cape for Satin, not Satan.
It's Satin, actually.
Got it.
8 cozy mittens for Cycloptopus. That's Cycloptopus. I didn't know he had a name. Oh, I'm glad to know that. And a jar of extra sticky taffy for Zombie, who was always looking for something to help reattach his arms. And now for the tree, Vanellope declared. It just isn't Christmas without a candy-covered tree. I don't know, it looks kind of sad. It's a Linus tree. You know what I mean.
Oh.
They found a perfect lollipop tree in Lolly Sticks Forest and cut it down. Then they strung it with popcorn garlands and hung candy canes from its branches. A glistening rock candy star twinkled on top. Not bad, Vanellope said, stepping back to admire it. Ralph agreed. It didn't exactly look like the Nicelanders' Christmas tree, but he knew the bad guys would love it. The presents were ready, the tree was ready, but with just one day left until Christmas Eve, Ralph was worried about something. How are we going to carry all of this to the support group room? Vanellope wrinkled her nose as she wrinkle, as she thought it over. Then her eyes widened. The same way Santa does it, she replied, in a sleigh. Vanellope dragged Ralph across Sugar Rush to the Cart Bakery. There they could use all the sugar frosting and candy they needed to create the perfect Christmas cart. Has anyone ever made a sleigh here before? Ralph asked. I doubt it, Vanellope said as she fiddled with the controls, but there's a first time for everything. Gears turned, bells rolled, mixers mixed, and frosting squirted. Within minutes, a gleaming vehicle slid out of the finisher, and came to rest at Ralph's feet. One rocket-powered candy sleigh, ready to go, Vanellope declared. On Christmas Eve, the two friends met up to bring Christmas to the bad guys. Vanellope came dressed up and ready to play elf. I didn't have a hat in size freakishly large, so I made you this. She tossed Ralph an empty sugar sock tied with a red bow on the side. Thanks, said Ralph, putting it on top. Then he squeezed behind the wheel of the rocket-powered sleigh. Can I drive? How about I get us off the ground, Vanellope replied. She shooed Ralph into the passenger seat. You can turn on the rockets once we get going. Vanellope revved the engines, and they were off. Whoosh! Soon they were flying smoothly towards the game exit. Okay, let's get this thing moving, Ralph called out, reaching for the left and right rocket switches. He flipped them both, but his powerful grip snapped one of the tiny rocket switches like a toothpick. Oh no! Only one rocket turned on and the sleigh spun out of control. Oh no, what's going to happen? Vanellope tried to regain control of the runaway sleigh. First they zoomed left, then they zipped right, but no matter what Vanellope did, it was no use. The rocket spiraled lower and lower until gloop, it came to a lurching stop in the middle of Great Caramel Lake. There were no survivors. See, it's so much fun to say. Ralph and Vanellope managed to swim ashore, but the sleigh and all of the presents were ruined. Ralph watched sadly as everything they had worked on sank beneath the caramel lake. Oh no, they said. Empty-handed and covered in caramel, Ralph and Vanellope made their way to the support group room. Ralph hesitated outside the door. What are we going to tell the guys? I've wrecked their Christmas. For once, Vanellope didn't have a snappy comeback. Here's another thing about Christmas songs while we're here. I'm just going to put the book down. I really like old, classic, standard Christmas songs. Old-timey Christmas songs like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. Because all of them seem to be written around a yawn. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Every Christmas song has a yawn in it. Every classic Christmas song, there's a yawn in there. She knew the crash had been an accident, but she was still sad they wouldn't be able to have a Christmas party. Time to face the music, big guy, she said, shaking her head like this.
You owe me restitution!
Shaking her head like that. Man, my hair is amazing.
Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know?
But when they opened the door, the friends' jaws dropped. The room was completely decked out and the party was well underway. The bad guys greeted them with a big cheer. Where did you get all this? Ralph asked. We spent the last few days getting everything ready, Sorceress said. Oh, that's Sorceress there. Yeah, you got us all in the Christmas spirit, Satin added. I don't know if Satin celebrates Christmas, but hey, what do I know? But Vanellope and I made presents and trimmed a tree. We even made a sleigh, but I wrecked it. I wreck everything. Don't be silly, Ralph, said Satin. You're the reason we're here, spending the holidays together. The other bad guys nodded in agreement. That's a pretty great gift. Vanellope punched Ralph gently on the arm. Yeah, don't be silly, Ralph, she said. Or should I say, Mr. Holly Jolly. That's the end credits. A wide smile spread across Ralph's face. That's me, he exclaimed. Exclaimed? A wide smile spread across Ralph's face. That's me, he exclaimed. Merry Christmas, everyone! And as they all celebrated late into the night, it truly was the merriest Christmas any of them had ever had. And that's the end of that Christmas story. Yay! So what did you think? Did you like that Christmas story? I like that Christmas story. I really like Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph 2, not so much. But Wreck-It Ralph, really like that movie. Thanks for watching. What do you want for Christmas? Do you want a Red Ryder BB gun? Don't. You'll shoot your eye out. And while I've got you here, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe and all those things I'm supposed to say because I'm somebody on YouTube. This Christmas is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
And we say bye-bye.